What was the toughest year for Johnny Slicks?
I like the tough though. Like it's stressful, but look how much we've grown. 2024 was really rough. We had a lot of moving parts. Like there was a lot, dude. Like I feel like I'm a different human being than 2023. 2024, like I'm
2024
I went through the ringer, bro.
Yeah.
I had a lot. I let go of so many vines, which is very unusual and unnatural for me. It felt really weird. Those little things that happened, really, like we've let people go. We've brought new people on. We've been the team is now in the 30s.
I knew that it was going to be super hard because of what we had to do. I mean, you go from like 4.6 million to over 10 million in 1 year.
Yeah.
Like any business.
Kind of tough.
Yeah,
tough.
You're going to have some constraints and you're going to have some problems. Welcome back to the NK Show. And today we got a very special guest, someone who's been here, long-time listener, long-time caller. What is that called?
Long-time caller, first time on the air. Thank you for having me.
But you're not. But you're not.
Big fan.
Definitely someone who's been through the trenches in the last 7 years, and we built something freaking incredible. You guys know him. You love him. Well, maybe not everybody on Instagram. Some of those people are just hateful.
There's a subreddit.
Is there really?
Mm-hmm.
No.
You haven't seen it?
No. Is there really?
Pull it up. Yeah, there is.
Holy cow. Well, Johnny Slicks, John HWY, the founder of Johnny Slicks, ladies and gentlemen. And today we're getting into a lot of good stuff that's going on in America. Got a lot of good stuff that's going into the business. But let's talk about the subreddit. Let's just kick off with some drama.
If you Google Johnny Slicks or John HWY, there's a subreddit. And I think it started in the category of pomades. But it's people like, dude, it's not about pomades anymore. It's about me. Like people see the Johnny in the Aisle videos.
You've made it, bro. You're famous.
I guess.
I don't have
know.
a subreddit. Johnny Slicks pomade.
Yeah, or I forget how I found it, but I don't know. No, if you Johnny Slicks, type in Johnny Slicks Reddit. There's like a subreddit that goes straight from there, and it's like John HWY is.
What is the deal with the community in Johnny Slicks? The owner talks a lot of shit. He'll rag on other companies for their ingredients, but he doesn't post his own. What?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. People just don't know. And
we literally post all of them.
Someone called me a clown, a dumbass. Like, people are saying that I'm an asshole. Like, it's wild. Like, I'm like, I've never even met any of you. How do you know that? That's wild.
Oh, you're talking mad shit in one of the Facebook groups. This is crazy.
Bro, I have not been in a Facebook group in like 6 years. So I don't know what that guy's talking about. But yeah, I didn't know. But yeah, some people love me. Some people apparently don't like me.
His dude bro military vet branding is boring. Dude, what?
I don't know. I stopped reading into him like that. Yeah.
I think Reddit is like a cesspool of like basement dwellers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, this is great.
I know.
Oh, I love it.
You're scrolling for a while. Are there more entries?
Anyone know if the owner is a MAGA clown?
What does that matter, man? People are so weird.
So if you make America great again, you're a clown. If you want America to be great,
are we still talking about pomades?
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna get my clown shoes.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Well, anyways, yeah. We have a subreddit. Well, cheers, bro.
Yeah, cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys. You make our dreams come true. Keep talking about us.
You know, they're probably watching this video, too. They're big fans of the company.
Dude, that's what, what's his name? Trent Shelton. He's like, all those haters. He's like, those are just confused fans because they comment on all your shit.
They follow you so closely.
Yeah. He's like, they're just fans. They're just confused.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude, so let's talk about it. We are about to hit number 7.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Twofold for you.
Yeah. So how does it feel to hit a 7-year milestone?
I don't know. I feel like that's a heavy question, but I feel 7 years in total, I feel like fulfilled because I remember for a really long time, I didn't think I was going to make anything at all my whole life. And then when your business is in like infancy stages, there's still that risk, and there's always that risk, right? But there's
risk right now.
There's always risk, but having like a company that can stand on its own, walk, run, and pay its own bills, you know what I mean? Like it's a grown up now is like fulfilling. It's nice.
And not to jump ahead, but does this like, because you kind of mentioned about like it growing and growing on its own, do you feel that, because it's changed a lot, like you talked about, you know, we scroll back and we talk about, you know, the phone call when I was in Joshua Tree,
Yeah.
and FaceTiming, and I was like, and you were at were you working at the barber shop? Is that what it was?
Yeah. I was in the parking lot.
And we started Johnny Slicks, and it was like you were working like, was it Tuesdays and Thursdays you were coming at the office to cook?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday was and Saturday, Sunday was at the barbershop because weekends in Jacksonville. Yeah.
And then you would work
Thursday,
you would
Tuesday,
cook,
and Thursday cooking.
and then we would sell them online, and we'd have who was it at the time? Liz was shipping out product.
Jamie.
Yeah. And then it just got to be too much.
Yeah.
And you're like wavering.
Yeah, because the barber industry was all cash, and I was working there like, you know, Jacksonville barbershop. It was a good barbershop. Like we made a lot of money, a lot of people coming in, and I was always side hustling, man. I was like laying concrete for people. Like it was weird. I did everything. And,
picking up change.
Picking up change in the parking lot. Yeah. Anything and everything, and I was just like, it wasn't stable, but I knew I could always be like, hey, do you need your attic cleaned? And people would be like, yeah, I strangely do. You want to come do it? And I'm like, I'm already there, man. So it was like
make that money,
making money doing that, and then jumping out of that into a business that we just started officially.
Yeah.
That I was like previously the day prior doing in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Was like, how can I replicate my kitchen to make money? That's weird.
It was 3 weeks, right? It was 3 weeks you quit within starting?
Yeah, no, before a month.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And
we've always kind of been that way though.
So I was like, jump, motherfucker.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
But coming from that environment and having, I guess, so much control of the entire company, if you will, to where now, I mean, we're an 8-figure business. Like, not to say that we're corporate, because we still have our own culture.
Yeah.
We have corporate culture, but it's a business.
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel going from like kitchen to infancy to now having an established corporation that has like money market accounts? And
I think Sid asked me this exact same question, or a very similar question. I think it comes down to like doing all the tests, like personality tests and entrepreneur tests and stuff like that. I'm finding that dude, I'm not an integrator. I'm not a CEO. I'm not a policy person.
Most founders are not, actually.
I'm like, dude, the more things I'm learning about myself, which the business is like forcing me to do, I'm finding myself like I am 100% a visionary and a puzzle person. Like I am a problem solver. I'm not an implementer. I'm not a policy person. I'm the person that questions the policy and questions what else can exist. So like building the business, I had control over everything, but I didn't. I had control over the vision of it and like what the formulas and the puzzles being solved, but passing things off like that over growth have kind of been really relieving. Do you know what I mean?
I was going to say, because I feel like for a long time in that middle stages, I mean, we're still growing rapidly, but in those middle years, or even towards like the last few years, I feel like there was like a lot of internal stress for you of not realizing that, or maybe feeling like you needed to, maybe, I don't know, I'm going to put words in my mouth, but like you needed to be something that you weren't, or you were lacking in some way.
And it came down to like it is an insecurity. I like everybody else, we have this inner dialogue that is like, I'm not valuable. I'm not bringing enough value to the table. And it was hard for me to imagine me not making products that started the company that I thought was my passion, not doing that anymore. So why am I here? But then realizing that I am much more valuable than just the guy who made the products. Like I can be more than that if I allow myself to be. And it was an insecurity I had where it was like, well, if I'm just watching my guys move drums around and I'm just, sitting in my office doing a podcast, then like the guys are out there sweating and I want to go help them. But that's not value. That's momentary value. I can do long-term value if I just focus on what I'm really good at. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like as like a visionary, one of my main focuses in life is to learn how to best communicate to all people, not just like my way of communication, but I need to learn to adapt to how people need to be communicated to. And I feel like I've done a decent job at evolving to the person I am now, where if I meet you, I know how to communicate my vision to you. If I meet Brandon, I know how to communicate my vision to him. And by doing so, it makes it a little bit easier to let things go, because I know that they understand my vision, they understand my expectation, and then I can let go and not worry about controlling it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that since you kind of like, I guess, self-realize that, or through some coaching or whatever, I feel like you've been a lot less stressed.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh, no, these are my unique abilities. This is my zone of genius. I'm just going to do that and not worry about anything else.
But it has been like self-realization, meditation, but nothing can happen without a team, right? So like conversations with you as my friend and my partner have dramatically kind of like rocket fueled that ahead. Because like you can
versus doing it on your own.
Doing it on my own, yeah. Because like you can sit in Zazen and meditate all day, right. But if you don't communicate that, or at least communicate the thoughts that you're having during that meditation to your spouse, your partner, your team, then it's like, what's the action? And then taking actionable steps. Yeah, right, exactly. So like talking to you about it, telling you my entrepreneur guilt of I feel like I'm not working as hard as the other people, and you being like, yo, you're crazy. You know, just those type of conversations, going home, thinking about it, diary, writing things down, journaling, and then through all of those things, kind of like getting the green light from everybody, which then gave myself the green light to like, yeah, man, let's take this next step. It's like the classic, founder's problem of letting go of the vine so the business can really turn into what it's supposed to do. Yeah, and it is really hard. Yeah. And like I said to you before, like I'm a very black-white person. Like there's no such thing as coincidences. There's no such thing as that. Like you create the opportunities that come before you, and it's up to you to align yourself to be ready to take action on that opportunity. Like it happens for us, right? So when you and I sat down and talked, it's like everything kind of works out to be the way it's supposed to, right? Over time, if you're open to the, if you're open to
otherwise,
it, right?
You'll just choke the shit out of it and it'll go to the ground.
And letting go of the vine has been something that's so difficult, because it's like, but I built it, but I made this, but I'm John. It's Johnny Slicks. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you're like, bro, you going to hold this thing up by yourself forever? Yeah. Or are you going to let your team do it too?
I think the best analogy, like for people that are listening, is, I told you this as well. It's like when you start a company, it's a baby. Yeah. It can't feed itself, can't wipe its own ass. Yeah. You know what I mean? Can't protect itself. Like you have to do everything for it. But at some point that baby turns 18, it's like ready to leave the house. And then you have like, you're like, no, don't.
Dude, I got to tell you, at Strategic Coach, I told like 16 people your analogy for dressing Mitri. Yeah. And it hit everybody the same way it hit me. I was like,
go ahead.
I can say it?
Yeah,
okay. I didn't want to take it from you. But literally, because everybody's always like, well, I can do it faster. Time is always of the essence. And that is the most consistent thing amongst all people. Everybody always feels like time. They're running
especially
against time.
In business.
Entrepreneurs are like, you're always chasing time, man. I saw a meme and it said, we need to have a day before each day so you can recover from the day prior and get ready for the next day. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like we just need that one day. Everybody feels that way. Yeah, right. So if that's the consistent thing, then how are people getting past that? Right. And then you said, we're late for dinner, or we're late for work, and Mitri got his shirt on all types of twisted and backwards, and he's struggling. But he's doing it, but he's struggling and taking too long. And we're packing up the car. We got to go. Yeah. And you're like, how fast could I just grab that kid's shirt and fix it? It would be instantaneous. Yeah. But what good is that doing? Right. He needs to learn to dress himself. When he turns 18, am I going to fix his shirt for him? Or is he going to do it himself? So, like, we have to pause now. You know, we're rucking. We have to tie our shoes in order to be sprinting ahead. So it's like, let them, they're going to struggle for a little bit. Let them go through those failures so they can learn just like we all did. Mm-hmm. So then they can end up sprinting and keep up with you. So it's like, let go of the vine, let them do it. Cause I was always like, well, dude, I can run a budget in like 30 minutes. Some of the guys, it takes like 3-4 hours. And I was like, bro, I can run 9 budgets in that time. You know what I mean? So, but then if I always do it,
they'll never be able to
never
do
learn
it.
how to do it.
And they'll never get faster at it.
And then next thing you know, they're finding their way out of the company because they were never challenged. They never had nothing else.
And you are just stressed to the 10th degree.
Dude, I have not ran a budget in like months.
Isn't that great?
It's amazing. Yeah. And like Joey's doing it.
Yeah.
So like letting go of the vine and kind of just swallowing that pill. But your analogy with Mitri, I don't even think that was an analogy. It was like real life. Like that was something that like, and I said that to people and they were like, oh damn, yeah, that's good. It's like, dude, how is it any different?
Because parents do that all the time. They're like, oh God, come here, put your socks and shoot. Let me just do it real quick for you. But it's like that 4-year-old or 3-year-old was never gonna.
You fed a man a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. So kind of going into that, like the mindset required to survive. So most people say like, you know, if you can get past 5 years, then it's like, it's gravy, which don't get me wrong. It's not totally gravy, but it's a lot better than, I like being at 7 years a lot better than 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you know, like getting past that big hump, you know, getting into, you know, heading into like middle market size business, you know, this year we're moving from, you know, we're 8-figure business moving into a middle market next year, which is going to, you know, give us a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
And, but what is that mindset required to survive 7 years of business? Like what, all the hard times of the last 7 years, like what kept you going? What kept you from like just totally throwing in the towel?
I've been thinking about this too. And it's like, you know, no coincidences. Like these thoughts are coming to me in the middle of the night and keeping me up because it's like, and you know what I found too, these type of thoughts.
You know, I have those. We've talked about this. I have those nights as well.
Think about this. I've achieved like another realm of it, man. I'm kept up by good thoughts now. It's weird. So like,
that's great.
It's great. It's cool, but I'm still not sleeping. So but I'm not thinking about bad things or like what if. I'm like thinking about like what have we overcome to get here, and I'm like, damn, I never would have understood that virtue if I never went through this.
Pivoting like the gains to the gap mindset.
Yeah, dude, for real. Like, so one thing, and I thought about this in the last week or so. Like I think the one thing that's helped me is looking at an obstacle or opposition or friction or a hurdle as like a good thing. And I've always kind of like felt that way, but I never really had life throw so many hurdles at me. I've never asked for so many hurdles and obstacles, you know. We've never tried, like I've never tried to go after so much. So of course there's going to be obstacles in the way or opposition. And it's like, I was just talking to Sarah about this as well. I don't know if I was born with it or if somehow I acquired it throughout my life, but when something happens, it's almost fun. Like if something in your business happens and it feels like opposition or an obstacle or a hurdle, most people throw in the towel when there's any sort of anything, right? Any sort of opposition, like, oh, it's not meant to happen. Like there's traffic today. I'm just not meant to go to work. Yeah. But that traffic is there to see how bad you need to go to work. Mm-hmm. It's opposition to sand down your vision, to make it full. So I think that one of the things that have helped me continue is when I get an obstacle, looking at it like a puzzle, and then how do you do puzzles? Do you just sit down and you don't move any pieces at all? You kind of just like sit there and stress out, or do you move pieces around? Do you move the table around? Do you look at the picture again? Do you put the corner, like everyone has their thing.
Looking for solutions.
You find the solutions and you find it. Like there's always a way. If the problem exists, the solution exists. That's just how life works. There wouldn't be a problem if there was no solution. There would be no solution if there was no problem. So like looking at things like that, whenever there's a problem, I'm like, dude, not only do we have a solid team, and you and I are like great partnerships, like there's a way, and I might not see it, you might see it, and like having somebody,
or you and I might not see it, and somebody else,
and a team member, right? Yeah. So I think
happened actually more recently a lot.
Yeah, because we're encountering more obstacles because we're taking a bigger bite. But having people, and I always thought it was like, it seems counterintuitive, but you and I are like yin yang. Like we think very differently than each other. And that might be like, oh, you guys, maybe you shouldn't be business partners. But dude, when a problem arises, I'm going to have my style of solving it, and you're going to have your style. Like more than like, dude, that's twice as much as most people. Yeah. Having 2 people. I thought you would want a team of all the same people. Everybody doing the same thing, thinking the same thing. But then when a problem arises, everybody's saying the same solution. So you have no perspectives.
Or you have a bunch of people that are like myself and Ali, who are like high quick start.
Yeah.
And there's no follow
No fact finders. Nobody is like doing it.
No one's actually following through and getting shit done.
Everyone has ideas and acts, but there's no follow. Yeah, right, exactly. So you kind of need this like well balance of quick starts, fact finders. You need follow through. You need all of these different types of people. And then that goes down to like your department, not just the company, but like your individual department. Like your department's going to have issues, And if you guys can look at it like breaching a house, clearing a house or anything, like if you always did the front door, come on, man. That's like, there's going to be a situation where there's a hostage in the rear end and you have to go through the roof. Like, but if you look at the building like it's only one problem and only one solution, that you're asking for trouble. Sometimes you go through the side. Sometimes like half the team goes through the roof. There's like other solutions that exist. So I think that bringing that type of mindset into business is like crucial. And I think that's not only helped grow, but kept me like sane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like a problem arises, instead of just being like, oh, I have to do this.
And it wasn't overnight, right? Like the company's grown over a period of time.
Yeah.
To where now it's, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, you didn't know we were an overnight success? You didn't know that? 7 years later?
Most people think, they're like, oh, you guys are rolling. It's like, dude,
must be nice.
You have no idea. Yeah, must be nice. Must be nice if I punch you in the face.
And then sell you the ice pack.
Yeah, right.
No, but it has been years of growing this and doing that and practicing that and failing a ton at that.
So you're saying for you, what's kept you going through some of the really difficult times and stress is the team.
The team, yeah. And then our ability to problem solve.
Okay. So pick your people the correct way, have core values.
Yeah. And just because they're not like you doesn't mean that's bad.
No, no. And it takes all personality types. And it's actually like when you have like this, you know, dare I say rainbow of personality types, and I don't mean rainbow, but
a full spectrum.
Full spectrum, there you go. Of personality types, it does complement a team. Like you said, if you have all of me on a team, that would be horrible. If you had all of you on a team, that would be horrible.
Dude, nobody would work. We'd all just be thinking all day.
Contemplating ideas.
Like, that's a good idea. Yeah.
But
once you have like you know who you are, so you're able to find your unique ability, your strengths, your weaknesses, and then find somebody who's strong at your weaknesses, and identify that. So then they do your weaknesses, which are their strengths.
And that's what's so great about our team.
Yeah.
So I get that. Yeah. So what was so reminiscing back on the 7 years? What was the toughest year for Johnny Slicks? If you think about all 7 years, can you pick one year that was like, oh, this was a grind to get through?
February. I would say January.
No, a year.
January 2025. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Terrible joke. I'm sorry. Hard. I don't know. Toughest. I like the tough though. Like it's stressful, but look how much we've grown. I would say honestly, if I were to consolidate like all the problems, 2024 was really rough. We had a lot of moving parts. 2018 was also rough, but if I look at it, like I worked 2 days a week at Johnny Slicks because we weren't selling that much. So the other days I was just writing handwritten notes and posting on social media.
So, okay, I can see 2024.
Like there was a lot, dude. Like I feel like I'm a different human being than 2023. 2024, like I'm
2024 broke.
I went through the ringer, bro. Yeah. I had a lot. I let go of so many vines, which is very unusual and unnatural for me. It felt really weird. Dude, going to strategic coach in January, I've grown so much from just that. So it's like those little things that happened really, like we've let people go. We've brought new people on. Like the team is now in the 30s when it was sitting at the 20s for years, you know? So it's like.
So that's interesting. I kind of see the same thing because, you know, we talked about it in our annual, but, 2024 for me was a planned event. So I guess I didn't think about it as I knew that it was going to be super hard because of what we had to do. I mean, you go from like, 4.6 million to over 10 million in 1 year. Yeah. Bro. Like any business,
kind of tough.
Tough. You're going to have some constraints and you're going to have some problems, and you're going to have some personality conflicts. But we had to do that to be able to have the opportunities that we have today, and that are all flourishing. And but honestly, yes, I could say that was one of the hardest years. I agree with you. You know what? For me, looking back, one of the hardest years was it 2022? Where we only grew by like 300K.
I have the notes, but yeah, I think it was 22 because we got on the Amazon in 22, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, and it was like 2.2 to 2.4.
No, it was 2.3 to 2.6.
Yeah.
And I was like, and at the end of the year, you remember in December, I was like, I biffed it.
Yeah, I remember.
And I really think that it was just I was so tired from 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
And when 2022 came around, I was just like, oh God,
Let's just cruise.
let's just cruise. And then we got to the end of the year and I was like, I fucked up. But it was a good learning lesson. And then we threw diesel fuel back onto it, and then really rocket fuel.
Rocket fuel.
Yeah. And then it's just been like doubling every year since then.
Yeah.
We were doubling before then, but yeah. So that one is a good lesson for me personally, but I just took the foot off the gas. So like it wasn't a hard year. By no means was it hard.
It was $1 million lesson because we could have made it 4 that year.
Yeah,
we really strapped in.
We could have doubled again that year, but we.
So, the cost you pay, man. Like
300,000. We grew by 300 grand.
Yeah.
Like Mickey Mouse shit. Anyway, so that's me. But I can definitely see. And Zach, our COO, said he's like, dude, it was like a full frontal. Like everybody got online last year, and it was a full frontal assault.
Yeah.
But that's not the way we're running things in 2025. Can't do that. So, anyways, so let's give some people some dirt. Other than Reddit.
go to Reddit.
Go to Reddit and read about us.
Join in. It's cool.
Anyways, so behind the scenes struggles that the audience hasn't heard before. What nearly broke John? What almost broke you? Behind the scenes struggles.
You want dirt or you want like?
Well, that is dirt.
Real. Oh, okay. Because, dude, my struggles are like. Okay, this is gonna sound really stupid, and it's really easy. Like we
can wrap it around manufacturing. We can put it like specific.
Well, from a business standpoint, I had to understand the concept of growth percentages. I don't understand that if we double, it's 112%. Yeah. I don't. That sounds to me like you did 100%, which is what you did last year, plus 12%. So wouldn't it, if you double, do 200? And I remember sitting down with you, and I was like, I'm having a hard time understanding this.
When you do math with an A, I do math with an E.
Yeah, so it's very different. Thanks for using that joke, man. Yeah, nobody uses that joke. Thanks. I was trying to explain that joke to Brandon yesterday. He's like, it's funny that we shortened math from arithmetics. And I was like, bro, I don't understand your jokes.
You mean the engineer?
Yeah, the engineer.
Yeah, right, like, exactly.
Man, I love him so much. But I didn't understand that. So that was a struggle for me because we were growing so much and I couldn't communicate it because I was like, oh, yeah, we grew 211%. And they were like, 200? Based on your response, maybe not. Maybe just 100. And they're like, oh, so you doubled. Dude, if I eat 100% of a sandwich, I didn't eat 2 sandwiches. I don't understand. My little brain wasn't operating properly. But learning that, I had to learn how to demand analysis, supply plan. I had to learn how to scale manufacturing from my kitchen. That was like, it's an ongoing struggle, obviously, but now we're tapping into a realm I've never existed before. Like,
can you isolate it to last year?
I mean, last year I bought the biggest equipment I've ever purchased in my entire life. Like, it was a car of a wax melter for pomades. Like, that was terrifying. Yeah. A pump that was $20,000 just to pump the wax out of the melter. Like, bro, I remember I came to you for $300, and I was like, "What do we do with this $300 Shopify loan? I don't know.
Are we ever going to be able to pay it back?
What are we going to do? Like, what if we can't pay it back? Like, and now
and just for we don't take Shopify loans, nor do we recommend it.
No,
but
I wouldn't do it.
We did take $300. At
very specific situation. You need that loan, but yeah. And if you and I didn't need to, like, like repo and bankruptcy, you could figure it out. I think dirt wise, one of my strengths is relationships, communication and relationships. So like working with people is it's very rewarding and fulfilling for me, but it comes with problems. Whenever you have people, you have problems. That's just like a thing. Like just me as a person, I have problems. So if I wake up today in my house as John and I go to work as John, you bring those problems over, just like you bring your work home. Like there is no separate life. It's one life. So people bringing their problems to work and then allowing it to affect work was really difficult for me because I'm having to communicate to these people like, hey, I don't think you belong here. And then it'd be surprising on like these, like, dude, I love I love everybody. These grown men just crying to me, like weeping and sobbing in my office because they just don't belong here. And that was really difficult. Yeah. When as soon as you said dirt, I thought about people issues because there's been some drama at Johnny Slicks in the past that, it's all under the bridge, and I love everybody for it, but because it's helped us grow. But that is uncomfortable for me. It is like difficult for me because how do I talk to a 55 or a 45-year-old who's like sobbing in my office and I'm supposed to not feel bad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just very difficult. He has a family. I know his family. So it's
Yeah.
like it's those type of situations were really difficult to overcome. And like I didn't sleep the night prior because I was so nervous about it. I had butterflies in my stomach. Like it's not fun. It's not easy.
No, I know. I've done it a bunch.
Yeah.
And like we said in the and typically I don't have to fire people. It's only the people that are my friends or I consider my friends that I end
Which
up
is the
having
way
to
you're
fire.
saying that. It makes it sound so, but it's that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
Because that means you care.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like
if I'm president,
if I'm
it
a
means I care.
friend.
Yeah.
If you're a friend of mine, you work for me. I'm not gonna like put you to somebody else and let somebody else fire you. That's to me that's just chicken shit.
Yeah.
So it's like very difficult. And honestly, man, like almost every single one of them, it's like I still kind of hold on to. It's like, oh God, that sucks.
It hurts.
Yeah,
Man.
like 'cause I care about this individual.
Yeah, and you
You
know
know?
their families.
Yeah.
Like it's like you see the effect, but
I'm not responsible for their success. I'm not responsible for their growth. I can help them, but like it's on them.
that's also like feed a man a fish type thing.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
if you're not like if he doesn't belong here, he's not happy, he's not performing. That man can be the best version of himself, and if it's not here, then there's an opportunity out there waiting for him. And the longer you keep him here,
You're holding them up.
you're holding him from that opportunity. So like you're about to help him learn how to fish, go to the land of opportunity. It's going to be hard, but
So what is what's changed in our industry since we started this? Like what's the biggest shift that you've seen or you've had to adapt to since in the last 7 years?
I think competition, there's way more competition now. An unfortunate thing, and when I was in at Full Sail Marketing, we talked about marketing terms, like marketing words and everything like that. And, you know, like free range, cage free, those are like marketing terms used in certain industries to prevail like some sort of like consumer concern. Like I want my beef to be treated well, so they put free roam. It's a marketing term. And then the FDA regulates that to be like they only need 6 hours a month or something like that. And then they're considered free roam, right? Yeah. Or instead of cage free, we just put them in a bigger cage that the FDA doesn't call
Consider
a cage. Yeah. So it becomes a marketing term. And when we first started, organic meant something. It meant something really heavy because it meant that the product was, one, high quality, but also the materials are sourced raw, and there's not much manufacturing or man-made procedures done to them to manipulate the actual ingredients. So nowadays, dude, the word organic can be portrayed through a lack of label. Like Doritos just did a thing where they cleared their whole bag. Like they don't have anything on their bag but the logo and the ingredients on the back. And when you the consumer, like you have 2.2 seconds for a consumer. That's how fast they make their decision walking down the grocery store shelf. 2.2 seconds before they say yes or no. So if they're looking at a label, and I did this with Rogaine and Hims, same product, 5% minoxidil, same exact product. Rogaine looks pharmaceutical. It's got a bunch of words on it. It's white. And Hims is like a nice felt clean box that's earth toned. So out of our, like, you know, our consumer brains, you look at that Hims and you think it's healthier. Literally the exact same thing. But because it looks organic, the consumer thinks it's organic, so they buy it thinking it's organic. And then when somebody says organic on their label, those people get questioned. And it's like, that's become really difficult. When before, people were like, oh, it's organic. I know what that means. I know I can trust it. I see videos of them making a product. Like, these guys aren't in hazmat suits like their competitors are. I'm gonna buy this. And now it's like organic. I'm gonna send them a bunch of messages asking it and trying to poke and pry, and I'm gonna be the detective here that breaks this company. And it's like that. If we just took the word, like honestly, I feel like if we just took everything off our label and just put Johnny Slicks, people it would be like, oh, it looks organic. It is, and they wouldn't question it. So there's been like this weird shift in consumer behavior where the less you have on the label, the more healthy the consumer thinks it is. But that's the absence of truth. That's literally called like marketing manipulation. Like we
just stay consistent.
It's just, we have the same labels. We do the same thing. We've used the same ingredients. We have the same vendors. We have like all of these American people that like bee farms up in Ohio. Like there's Illinois. Like all these places are giving us raw materials. But because we use this like I say all of that to say, like, marketing term. Organic has become like this marketing term where
So
it's like cage free.
So
You know what I mean?
specifically on that, can you talk about? Can you explain to the audience the whole USDA certified organic? 'Cause
Yeah.
we looked into it and we were like,
Yeah.
oh hell no, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The USDA back in 2019 did a study, and they reviewed every product on the U.S. Commerce site marketplace that said USDA certified on it. They took every one of those products and reviewed how the businesses were structured, their systems and policies, and then the final product itself. And they deemed 40% of every product that had the USDA badge on it, they deemed it inorganic, using pesticides or man-made manipulated ingredients. 40%. So that means if you go to a grocery store and you grab 10 products off the shelves that have USDA badges of them, 4 of them are lying. That's insane.
Can you and then for us to be certified USDA organic, what's that process? What do we?
Oh yeah. So I think when I last looked it up, the USDA only has like 4 employees or something like that. They're all outsourced. Like they third party hire inspectors
the contractors come in. Yeah.
Yeah. So like when I looked it up, there was down in Wilmington, there's a guy that does it. He gives you like a month notice so you can make sure everything's tight and clean, right? They tell you heads up, and then they come in, and it could be like a Saturday, it could be a Sunday when you're not operating. There's certain stipulations that you can set up so then the supervisor or the inspector can find you at your best and not when you're actually making your product. So the farms clean up, they put all the ugly cows away, you know what I mean? Like they paint the barn type shit. And they clean all the blood off the floor real quick. That type of stuff happens, but it comes down to money, which is like the saddest part, but that's also like the root of the whole like system here, right? It's $200 per SKU per year. And then if it goes over to like 12 to 16 ounces, which is the limit of what I looked at, because that's the biggest product we make, it's like an extra $225. Yeah. So anything under 12 ounces, it's $200. Anything over.
I don't remember when we did it. It was something like 30 grand or something like that.
Yeah, a year. Yeah, now it's more.
I'm sure.
Because the process is more. Yeah. So we have more ingredients, more containers, more SKUs are leaving. So more badge needs, you know. So it came, like $30,000 to $45,000 a year is what you're paying these people to get a badge on your product. And it's like a stamp. It's like a once a year thing. Yeah, it's just a stamp. And all it does is create a consumer manipulative like idea that, oh, this product has this stamp. People looked at it, it's good, but the people who looked at it got kickback on it, and that's what they care about, which is really, really sad, because then they did the inspection, they found 40%. And what they did was they essentially slapped them on the wrist, said, clean up your processes, you'll keep the badge. Yeah. And it's like, then they had another inspection 30 days later, and they all passed. And it was like, that's not weird. Like, if you tell your kid to clean up his room, and then all of a sudden you walk by and it's not clean, and you say, clean up your room, and then he cleans it up again, like, there's a root issue there somewhere. Like, are we just not going to talk about that? Like,
you got the stamp, bro. You're good.
You got the stamp.
See you next year.
And what's sad too is like, and this is on the FDA's website, and most people don't look up the cosmetology industry at all. People are like, that's weird. Like, I just go to Ultra and buy my toxins and my propanes. Dude, to get propane, like, you need a license. But if you go to a hair salon, you can get it like in a can, like easy. Like, you can start buying the flammable products we're putting on our hair and skin and kids. The FDA states that you can put any ingredient in your product, if it's less than 5%, it doesn't need to go on the label. Right. And that's really, I think, the root of the toxins in the products, because formaldehyde releasers are preservatives, and most companies will put that product in their product to increase shelf life, so they can buy 1 million SKUs, sit them in a Connex somewhere, cooking in the sun, and the formaldehyde will preserve that product. And for instance, I just went to Harris Teeter. Yeah. After they kicked me out for filming in there. Yeah. I bought a
naughty boy.
Dude, I see that guy all the time now. I see the manager there, and he just looks at me. I'm like, yeah, no, I live here, bro. You kicked me out. It's weird. Anyway, I bought a product, and it had a coupon on top. Mm-hmm. Brandon, you remember this, right? Dude, she takes this is like an off-the-shelf product. She takes the coupon off, goes to scan it. She goes, oh, the coupon's expired. Bro. First off, you're selling this product, but 2, how old is this product that the coupon that was on top is expired, man. It must have been on the shelf for a year. How often do coupons expire? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's been sitting there for so long, but it's still like sustainable. And formaldehyde releasers were not on the ingredient list, and it might be in there. I don't know. And you're putting that product on, and it was a post-injury care product. So like you're putting it on your wounds. You're like putting formaldehyde releasers on your blood, in your blood, on your wounds. It's going into your body, and then in 5-10 years we're getting like diseases.
So that kind of brings me to another point, and I want to talk about manufacturing. But so your thoughts on old Bobby RFK joining the administration to make America healthy again?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? I mean, I don't know how much have you been tracking this? I know you don't track a lot of it, but like how much are you tracking Mr. RFK?
I mean, I've seen a ton of stuff that dude, that man has balls, bro.
Yeah.
Like he goes out there and he is saying what needs to be said. And I was like, I was watching it. I was like, this man he's doing what we all need him to be doing. Well, we all need to be doing, really.
And he got confirmed. He is.
That's amazing.
He is our Secretary of Health.
We need people questioning the shit he's questioning more and more. And having a person in that like seat and has that voice and that power, and it being him, is incredibly powerful.
Your personal opinion on how him replacing the creature,
the mashed potato man.
The mashed potato man.
Dude, you look like a pile of mashed potatoes. Giving
as the health secretary.
Yeah.
What do you think that means for businesses like ours? Like, what do you think the impact will be? I mean,
dude, honestly,
it's all full speculation right now, but
yeah,
just curious.
But look at where that creature mashed potato man was really, and like look at it like this way, just not because we own a business, but look at it like it is a business. This is there is money coming in, there is money going out.
We profit off Johnny Slicks.
Yes, right, exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
And that goes into the scaling of America. Like there's money going out and there's money coming in, right? So if you have this creature of a man who's repeatedly bombarding and manipulating the consumer and the American population, and then where is that money going? It's like finding its way, not trickling, but pouring into the pharmaceutical companies. Like there's 24 skin illnesses that are like a confirmed, like eczema and all of those things, 24 of them. That resulted in $75 billion just in the few diseases that got medication. $75 billion. So imagine now if we look at more holistic, and I don't even like the word holistic. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We only know holistic because pharmaceutical exists. Before that, it was just the way things
just
are.
Medicine.
Like go drink ginger and turmeric and your stomach. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like now it's like you take this pill or you do holistic
Which
stuff.
was all
like,
very planned and orchestrated by the Rothschilds and
in the early 1920s.
Yeah.
And we have not evolved past that, but it's a very profitable thing because people like the ease of taking a pill. They don't want to have to chop up ginger. Do you know what I mean? Like do those hard things. But having somebody who's more holistic seeing and willing to do the work, like you should be exercising, not like take this pill and sit on your ass.
And stop giving this shit to our kids that are literally killing our kids.
Yeah, it's confusing them. They don't know what they are. Like, that's confusing, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And then they're acting out. And then we're like, why are they doing that? Just put them on a pill. It's like, why do you think? I saw a video of him talking about the different ingredients between European Fruit Loops or something like that and like American. And there's like 11 ingredients that are not found in Europe, but they're found in America.
Like illegal in Europe.
Dude, we are being poisoned from these big corporations. We are actually being poisoned. We know red does stuff to our bodies, like, and we're giving it to children first thing in the morning, man. Like, that's insane. And then we're wondering why they're acting out. It's like having somebody who's not only speaking out about it, but has a solution to it is incredible. And for Johnny Slicks specifically, and I don't want to say like that $75 billion has to get reallocated somewhere, right? I think people are becoming... You have the people that are like closed off to change. Like, no, just give me my Ozempic. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit home and be numb. I don't want to deal with pain, whatever. Those people are going to do what they're going to do regardless. But the people who are like, oh, I never thought about the different ingredients. I've never left the country. So I've never, and there's a lot of people who haven't traveled out to other countries. So they don't know. they're ignorant to that fact, but they're open to knowing. So when they hear him speak and they look at their ingredient list and they're like, what is this like DTS like fucking 17 monoxofillin, you know what I mean? Or whatever it be on Fruit Loops. And it's like, why am I giving this to my 4-year-old? Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I'm going to try maybe some waffles as Kodiak cakes and some melon.
Or some steak.
Steak, right. Something, some sort of protein.
That's what I feed my son.
Dude, before
steak
that,
and
dude,
eggs.
the British, they had like a piece of bread and tea. And then all of a sudden, like back in the day, like back in the early 1900s, they introduced bacon, you know, to give protein to Americans. Yeah. And like that is like the meal for breakfast. Is like you have a protein source, some carbs, like you have some healthy fat for your brain function. Now it's like Fruit Loops and full dairy, like
a healthy part of breakfast or whatever.
You rush through it because it's a chore, and then you rush to whatever you're doing. And it's like this guy, I think, is really gonna just, even if he does nothing but educate, it's gonna really shift that 75 billion, and it's more now. That was back in like 2019 or 2020 or something like that. Way more now when it comes to pharmaceuticals. Way more pharmaceutical companies. I think it's going to shift and move to more holistic companies like us, who are actually like conscious of what our ingredients do to people, conscious of where the ingredients come from, and choosing like quality over the quantity of money. Like the prices are very expensive.
Yeah.
Here.
So you think it's more going to be about buyer psychology of just because of the education and what he's talking about, just a shift in their buying habits.
I think so.
Potentially.
Because what happened when Mashed Potato Man was talking? Like, people, he would say something, and then the next time he spoke or the president spoke, it was countered. It was confusing.
Yeah.
So how do you divide people? How do you cause them to just kind of do what you say? How do you create sheeple? You confuse them, and then you have one person speak up about it and just sell a product, which is what happened. Yeah. When you have somebody speaking out against that and being the sole point of an education source, people aren't going to Reddit. They're not going to all these like other sub-educational content and being confused and bombarded. Like you see those videos where it's like, it's 2025, don't eat toast because the toaster has metals that burning into the bread. Don't do that. Like we're confused because of the previous, parties that were in place. Now we actually have a single source of education, and it's not aliened. It's not like we're talking about pharmaceuticals. We don't know the side effects, like blah, blah, blah. This is like, guys, we know what vitamin C does to the human body. Are we all taking enough vitamin C supplements? Are we getting enough sun? Are we like, that is not something that is like, that's something mankind has been doing for, like I said, our ancestors.
And when that, ever since 2020, it's like gone hard.
Right. And people
it was
got
before
confused.
that, but then it was like staying home,
Be
take this
afraid.
pill.
And all those feared people are getting sick again.
Yeah.
Like, dude, didn't you get a vaccine? What do you mean you're sick again? Like, what are you talking about, man? So people are confused.
I'm getting older and healthier by the day.
Yeah.
So with Trump's stance on, which was funny, we posted that news conference that he
American manufacturing.
Yeah. And everyone was like, "This is AI." I'm like, "No, bro, I pulled it from. Like, this is his speech." It did sound weird. I don't know if he was like reading his speech or something, but
I don't know. I think there were cuts in there that made it like his long drag outs kind of like shortened. So it kind of maybe sounded robotic.
Sounded robotic.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was like Origin shared it. A whole bunch of American-made companies shared it because we're like, hell yeah. So from your point of view, on the manufacturing side, so like those you don't know or haven't caught on, John runs our manufacturing arm of the company. I say run. I don't know. What would you
direct? I don't know either. I
Who's the guy with the orange cones?
I built it and I sustain it, but I don't do it. Sustain's not the right word. We have teams.
Scale.
You scale it. I problem solve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, he oversees manufacturing, so I'm constantly trying to find money. He's always asking for money.
What a jerk.
What a jerk. He's like, I need some more money. I'm like, damn it,
bro. You want to make $100 million? I'm gonna need some money.
I do come to the table with some crazy goals.
I'm gonna need something
and some opportunities. I'm like,
look, I'll go back to selling blood. I'll sell plasma. I don't care.
I was like, I just met this guy, and this is what we're gonna do. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna need $100 million, bro.
Yeah. Dude, you added a zero. I'm gonna need something out of that.
This is John's thing. So wait a minute, Nick. Have we moved the goal?
Dude, we've had that conversation like 3 times now. I'm like, wait, hold on. What is?
Wait
I'm not upset. I need to know. I need to know.
Because the goal on the board was this. And I feel like you moved the goal. I'm like,
well, I actually was just talking to Brendan about this too, because it comes into like Like people that don't own a business, they're like, well, I never have a goal. I don't own a business. Dude, like when a problem arises, the first like bullshit filter, right, it goes through is, does it align with your goal?
Right.
And then you have your core values, and then you have your team and family, and then you have you, the ego, right? So it's like, if you move the goal, let me know, man, because like if a problem arises and I'm shooting at a different goal and you have a different one, and I'm gonna make a different decision because I'm like, yeah, that aligns, and you're like, no, it don't, bro. Like
I am an habitual goalpost mover.
Yeah, now I know.
Habitual goalpost mover.
Yeah, that's why I add for every goal you do, I add 38%.
I know now, right?
Now I do. I was doing 15. Now I moved it up to 38.
So with so going back, so like Trump's stance on American-made businesses, the tax cuts for American manufacturing. Are you excited? What's your thoughts? Like, what's the impact that's going to have on? What do you think the impact of this is? And obviously, it's going to take some time, right? Yeah. But if you guys didn't know, they've published. I think it's Can you look it up? HR 25, which would impose. I think it's getting rid of or reducing federal income tax, something about abolishing the IRS, employment tax of a cut of 6%. So be looking out for, I think it's HR 25. So be on the lookout for HR 25. Call your freaking congressman. I made a video about that. I was like, you want to, and I promise I'll let you answer. If you want to unite,
I like hearing you talk about
this. You want to unite America, get rid of federal income tax. And then watch a Democrat try to bring back federal income tax after it's been abolished.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what side of the aisle or what color your hair is. Nobody's going to want to give up anywhere from $8,000 to $24,000 of their annual income once they've got it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, could you imagine the shitstorm that would create if they got rid of federal income tax? The whole country would be like, "Fuck no."
Yeah. No, it would be like raids in the street. You want what from me?
Yeah. So I'm like, you want to unite America? Absolutely. Get rid of federal income tax. We will become united on a front with our money.
Yeah.
Did you find it?
Fair Tax Act of 2023. This bill imposes a national sales tax on the use or consumption in the United States of taxable property or services in lieu of the current income taxes, payroll taxes, and estate and gift taxes.
But the bill is HR 25.
HR 25, 118th Congress.
There you go.
2024.
So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout.
Exactly.
I think we can all get. I think like, we don't have to agree on everything, but I'm pretty sure when it comes to our paychecks, we're all going to agree.
Yeah.
We want to keep as much money for ourselves as possible.
Oh, that reminded me. There was I don't rarely go on Instagram because I have like self-diagnosed ADD. So when I'm like, oh, I got to go on and answer this message, I'm like,
you're deep into the hole.
Why am I reposting this? What happened? And I get off and I'm like, wait, no, there's something unfulfilled. I needed to do, the message, right? So I rarely go on, but this guy was talking about, and he started with the English language. He said something about adding ES at the end of tomatoes and potatoes, but you don't do it for tornadoes. And then he was like, so think about it.
Oh, you went down.
Oh, yeah. But he was like, think about it, man. Think about the rules of your language, English, that have set rules, but they conflict each other. They're not consistent. So what else are we learning and teaching in English that is inconsistent with itself? And you never think about what you don't know until you realize you don't know it, right? So say they take away all of this federal income tax and we're like, dude, 25 grand back to my bank account. What else is there that they're doing, right? You never really think about it until it's after the math. So dude, it made me remember that video because he's like, what else did we learn in history that didn't happen in English, but we're learning in English? Mm-hmm. So how much translation is lost? So how much of the truth is missing if it's inconsistent with itself? So like if the government gives us back 25 grand, if in reality,
just if you guys are listening, he said that in quotes.
But
stop robbing us.
Stop taking it. You know what I mean? They're not giving us anything. They stop taking it. What else can they stop taking from us that we need to start looking at? You know what I mean? Rather than just being the sheeple going along with it.
It's all fraud, man. It's like you get taxed on what you made, you get taxed on what you buy, you get taxed on what you own.
You find $20 on the street.
They're
you get taxed on it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to report that.
Like, and just so you know, like, but the roads and the Medicaid and blah, blah, blah. None of your tax money goes to that. All your tax money goes to debt.
Dude, I drive over the same pothole for the last 4 years on the way to the lab. So.
Yes, I don't know where. Anyways, so again, going back to manufacturing and his policy on American-made manufacturing, what do you think this impact is going to be for Johnny Slicks?
I think it's going to mean that we can make more money by spending less money. We can reallocate our funds to things that are really important to us as a business. So higher wages for all of our team.
The caveat on that, we pay our people very well.
Yeah.
For our industry, like very, very well.
Yeah.
And
but not enough.
Yeah, I think they're worth a lot more.
They are.
You know what I mean? But we have a budget to balance.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So
and it's unfortunate that we have to have an account for Fed tax and all of these things. Yeah. And I could essentially like bring 4 new people onto the team or pay the government this quarter. Yeah. So it's like that. If that goes away, we can pay our people way more, closer to their value. I feel like most of our team will never, unless they start their own business and work for themselves, it's going to be really hard for them to find their true value and get paid for that. Yeah. Because these people are like $1 million people. Yeah, absolutely. They all are. You know what I mean?
But that 6% cut, I mean,
dude, like it's going to be wild.
Like you and I have talked about it. It's like, we just roll that right back into our people.
Yeah. And we operate the same we've always operated. It's just reallocating the funds somewhere. And then I think we can actually do more team building when it comes to our vendors, because we have a very unique business structure where we buy all of our materials from other American-owned companies, which means we just hop on a plane or a car and just a quick drive down the street and we can see one of our biggest vendors. Yeah. And then if we can bring our family to their family and have, like, dude, you're talking about like Fast and Furious 3 right now. You know what I mean? Like we can all sit down and have dinner. And that's right now there's not much budget for that because I'd rather spend that money on the actual ingredient. But if I can reallocate the taxes or the price of that ingredient to go have my team meet their team and break bread together, bro, now we're like, not only have we already united Americans, now we're really uniting Americans. Do you know what I mean?
Let me paint a picture. Let's do this. Let's paint a picture. I want you to paint a picture of how being, like, we've had this goal from the get-go. Like people have told us to outsource to overseas. They've outsourced everything, our manufacturing, our customer service, our fulfillment. And we just always drew the line. Yeah. And so can you just talk about the difficulties of American manufacturing up to this point?
Oh, we're going through one now. So we've reached a ceiling. I actually don't think I told you this. Yeah, it's like happening right now. Like today, me and Joey and Brendan were all talking about it. I think we've reached a ceiling on. Let me start over. When and I've talked to Kip about this as well. He always says triple forecast. Whatever you're forecasting, triple it, and that's how you talk to your vendors, right? So that way they have enough stock for you. I think we're past that, where we're growing so rapidly. We need to be giving these vendors like a year advance in order to have supplies. So I have some ingredients that take 12 weeks to arrive after I order them, because we're ordering so much more now. Do you remember back in the day when you can order beeswax? It comes by like the pound, the box, and then the truckload. Yeah. We're at the truckload size, man. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm about to order a truckload of beeswax.
We're going to have to buy a Johnny Six silo, like one of those.
I think so.
Like
yeah.
Silo for beeswax.
Yeah. I think so.
Behind the warehouse, there's a silo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beeswax.
So we're at a point now where that 12-week lead time is becoming like 24-week lead time, or even 30-week lead time. And some of the oils where it takes 8 weeks, now they're taking like 3 months because we're ordering so much, where we need to give them a heads up, but then they need time to make it or pour it, contain it, and then ship it. So it's like when it comes to manufacturing, I think that one of the hardest things is figuring out what ceilings you're hitting and then like overcoming it somehow. And then, dude, like we're hitting ceilings nonstop, but recognizing it's a ceiling.
But the opposite, if you're outsourcing to China, it's like you don't deal with any of
instant,
this.
Dude.
It's instant.
You can, like, I remember we talked in 2019, 2020. I was getting bombarded by these Chinese manufacturers. Come back, and we talked about.
I manufactured. I had other businesses before Johnny Slicks. I manufactured in China.
It's easy,
bro. The profit margin,
dude. It's like nothing. Like 5,000 units is nothing. Like you do it. Dude. Why not? Like $1 a piece. Like whatever, man.
Bro, I was manufacturing things for like $2.
Yeah.
And then selling them for over $100.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was my
dude.
profit margin.
That's a wild margin. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but that's what gave me the ability to like move on. But like, it is absolutely crazy. And that same thing to manufacture in the United States, that same product
Yeah.
was, geez, dude, $75.
Yeah. Right.
So your margin is this small,
Tiny.
So
it was like we kept getting bombarded to go to Chinese manufacturing. We looked up the manufacturing, and they there was a couple pomade competitors that took that route. You remember the one that starts with an S? Many people know. If you go on their website, they used to just do pomades, and now they have like bobbleheads and socks and school backpacks and lunch boxes and all these weird yo-yos. Like they have this weird arrangement of items that they're offering. That they're white labeling from someplace. And then you look at the Chinese manufacturers, and it's like, oh, it's because in the warehouse where they get their pomades made, on the second floor they make lunch boxes, on the third floor they make custom erasers, on the fourth floor they make bobbleheads. And when you make a deal with that manufacturer, they own the whole warehouse. They just slap your logo on everything in that warehouse, and you sell the most miscellaneous group of items on your website. So if you look up, and many people know what I'm talking about, a pomade company that begins with an S. If you go to their website, you can see it's just like
it starts with an S, ends with a
Ito.
Ito.
It's just weird because they used to only do pomades, so you can actually like follow and see what they're doing. And then we looked at we priced it out, flying to China and meeting these people. They take you out for this amazing dinner, you know what I mean? And I was like, that seems like a really cool like business guy to do. You know, I would love to do that. And then I was like, oh yeah, but like then I don't manufacture and I don't have any of my team guys. Like they're essentially, sorry guys, you're out.
We were pushed in the early days to basically just be a media company like some of our competitors.
Yeah. Because like it could still be us four doing it.
No employees, just four of us making videos and posting online.
Like how easy would it be to get rid of Brandon? You know what I mean?
I just started sweating a little bit.
I know. I get but you know, there's people that are constantly reaching out to us for his job. Yeah. Dude, I told Josh. Oh my God, Josh! I hope you're listening to this, bro. Me and Brendan came back from an L10, one of the executive meetings, and Josh comes over to the truck and he hands me a business card. He goes, "Hey, this guy is out in Greenville and he wants to help us with manufacturing." And I was like, "What did you just say to me?" And he's like, "Yeah, they can white label for us." And then so he gave me his card, and I was like, "Josh, did you tell this guy to fuck off? Like, what do you took his card and his number?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just didn't know what you wanted to do with it." I'm like, "Josh, you realize this guy literally came for your job." Like, he handed you a business card and said, "Give this to your boss. I want your job. You're going to be unemployed." It's like, dude, tell that guy to fuck off, man.
If I take this guy's card and take his business, I'm firing all of you.
I'm firing myself. And yeah, right, exactly. I'm like, dude, no, don't like tell that guy to leave, man. But that's what it came down to when these Chinese people reach out to us and they're like, you guys should make, 10,000 units for $1 compared to 1 unit for $5, type thing.
But what's in it?
Dude, it's emptiness. It's like you and me just sitting in there high-fiving each other by ourselves. Like, I'd rather have a team. Our family days are like 90 strong, man.
I know.
You know how many tacos that is?
Yeah.
I do. It's not cheap, but it's not the point. That's not the point.
But the fact is, and I posted that video of me and was it me, Abraham Lincoln,
the dude and Jesus?
And Jesus. You know what I mean? So if you haven't, go check that reel out on my page.
Yeah, that was actually Jesus too.
Yeah. He was turning water into wine.
It was really cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that was rad.
But nonetheless, and that was not CGI, by the way.
No, it was not magic.
I don't want to say it was not magic.
No.
Well,
it was a miracle.
It was a miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go watch the video. It was not CGI.
People are gonna hate that I just said that.
I don't know. Whatever.
No, but I think that American manufacturing is going to be amazing because we source all of our ingredients from other American-owned companies, and we're not getting synthetic ingredients made from overseas, made by
and your money stays here. Like your money, you buy Johnny Slicks, you're supporting, and we have families working for us, like whole families,
entire families, wife, husband,
kids.
Yeah,
Right.
They all come to family day together. Yeah. They all come to work together.
So when you buy Johnny Slicks, and that's I hammer that drum a lot. It's like, dude, you're supporting. Your money is going into the pockets of Americans.
Yeah.
versus some other corporation or whatever.
And we don't have a beeswax farm out back.
No,
so
and
like
then
it's
every
going
vendor.
to, our beeswax suppliers have like 12 strong. So every time you guys buy a pomade, it allows us to now have to do supply planning. We need more beeswax, so we reach out to these guys. Dude, I don't even know the effects, but this team of beeswax people probably were like 8 strong when we started. They probably have like 20 people now because of how much beeswax we need. So they were able to strive and grow their family because of your purchase of oil-based pomade. It's not just like, I bought a pomade and I look and smell good. It's like, dude, you supported families, you put food on tables. It's incredibly strong.
It's the truth, man.
Yeah.
So kind of moving into the future here. Where are we going? Where do you see Johnny Slicks in the next 3 to 5 years? I'm curious because we've talked about this, but a little bit. But,
no, Nick, I don't know. What's the goal? What's our goal?
From your point of view, and this is not totally scripted because we have not talked about this prior to. When we talk about it a lot, so we understand a little bit. But
I don't know. I get curveballs from you all the time.
I'm a freaking curveball machine.
Yeah, you know the difference though. Like pitchers, they usually throw up some number symbols to notify the people that are trying to catch the curveball.
So John and I meet every week. We see each other a lot, but we meet every week specifically and carve out some time to just talk business and numbers and whatever we need to sync up about away from the team. And I'll start talking, and he's like, whoa.
I like whip out my laptop. I'm like, hold on,
dude.
What did you just say?
What did you just say? Did we move the goalpost again? I'm like, oh yeah, about that. Anyway, so
I gotta redo numbers now.
I gotta redo everything. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna need a lot more money. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to do everything I just said with the same amount of money.
I want you to do more with less.
With less.
Execute.
We're Marines, right? We can figure that out.
Yeah.
Where do you see Johnny Slicks next 3 to 5 years?
In a warehouse. that's a guarantee.
That better be.
I think one thing that we've done really well is we've stayed like true to our virtues and our ethics, right? With hiring people that care. Now, you can't teach caring, so hire people that care and they want to be here, they want to grow, they're addicted to it. I think our team is going to be triple-fold, if not quadrupled. I think we're going to have a cranking Ford assembly line type of manufacturing that's open 24/7, just like cranking away at products. The demand is it's going to be there. It doesn't matter. Like there's no slowing down at this point. Like even if you and I disappeared for 6 months, there's this thing is going.
No, the snowball effect has happened.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to stop this train. So in 3 to 5 years, I see us in probably 60 to 70% of major retailers. Obviously, we're going to choose carefully who we go into. I don't want to discount our products too much where it's looked at as dollar
Dove.
products. Yeah, like products that
Suave.
Okay. Oh, I actually did. I wanted to know this too. It would be rad to get into like Hilton or something like that, like a major hotel chain.
Oh, their shit is so cheap though,
dude. But there's got to be a way. There's somebody somewhere, some CEO of a hotel that's getting ready to turn over to a younger person, and they want to do something.
Not wrong.
The opportunity. I think the opportunity might be
Put
there.
Johnny Slicks into a hotel. It has to be like a luxury hotel.
It would have to be. But I know I was talking to Josh Hansberger, and he was saying that there's a company that took the exact almost the exact same path of us, but we took direct to consumer, and they took I think they go with United Airlines or Hawaii Airlines or something like that, and they exclusively do packages for first class members, and they're the same size as us when it comes to gross revenue. And I was like, that's kind of cool, man. They took and they're handmade just like us. They do it all. So I was like, that'd be cool to go into a high end 4-star hotel and see our product there. That would be kind of rad.
That would be pretty dope.
But I want to be open to those things because that opportunity might arise at some point. I remember a couple of years ago, somebody said, you guys should get into jails, soaps for jails. And I was like, I don't really think that aligns with our brand. Johnny Slicks in jails. I don't know, man. I'm not saying those people don't need to be cleaned, but I don't think that's their avenue we want to go.
Nor do I want these corporations or the government buying Johnny Slicks to fund. That's just fund more tax dollars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, anyways. I don't know. That would be a really nice soap for those guys, though.
Yeah, it would.
I want to. Anyway. In the next 3 to 5 years, I do see us in a lot more high-end retailers, maybe a hotel chain. But when it comes to the team, I think our team is going to be triple, quadruple the size, producing a ton of product. And I don't know. Are you and I still going to be here? Like, I don't know what the
3 to
future
5
holds.
years?
Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to always have my visions being executed the same way they are now, and you implementing everything that you can think of to keep the business growing. So I don't think anything will change per se, other than maybe like 3 or 4 more zeros at the end of our books. But I don't know. Bigger,
More market share.
more. I would, however, like to do more products. Like, we killed off a lot.
Don't mention any products that we're talking about, because people, it kills me, and it kills me. It's not going to kill me as much as it kills you.
I kind of like it now, though.
Oh,
I like to know that the products I killed hurt people.
No, not
I'm
killed, not
alone.
the ones. I'm talking about the ones that people have been asking for like 5 years.
Oh, yeah, but you had a certain individual
That was
bombard me.
privately. Yeah, it was
okay.
privately.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, the people
I would
already
like
know.
to see some of those products.
Yeah,
like there's
like-
some ones that I think there's holes in our line of cosmetics that we're missing. That
I
I'd
do.
Like to fill.
I do have this, like, and it's not a like true vision I have, but I would like. I'm picturing every household product is a Johnny Slicks in some manner. It could be laundry detergent, dishwasher soap, like, because it's all in the same realm. Like, I still to this day, it baffles people, because I don't. It all started with the Tao, the book, the Tao Te Ching.
Yeah.
Bro, you don't label things. What's the difference between a paper towel and a hand towel and a dish towel? And what's the difference between dish soap and hand soap? I don't understand. It's soap. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, what's the difference between laundry soap and dish soap? And I know, obviously, there's, like, little things. Yeah, there's little things like that. But if you can use it on your dishes, you can use it on your hands. It's soap. So, like, I do picture us kind of, like, breaking into the American household. Don't take that out of context. Breaking into the American household and kind of questioning, like, the use of these two products. Like, you're buying two products from one company that does the same thing. Yeah. So you're paying the company double what you're supposed to, and it's consumer confusion. So I'd like to, like, break into that and be like, you don't need 3 products to do this. You can buy just soap and dispense it in your bathroom, in your dishwasher. Yeah. Like, you can do those things. And I know we don't have the space for it now, but it would be really cool to just have, like, Johnny Slicks everywhere, like little Slicks, woman Slicks, because it looks very manly.
Yeah.
Having things for everybody.
Baby Slicks.
Baby Slick, Little Beast. Yeah.
Little Beast. All right. If you could give one piece of your advice to your younger self when we started Johnny Slicks, like, if you could go back to 24-year-old Johnny, what would you say?
What was the movie in Thor Ragnarok? Who played Zeus?
Russell Crowe.
So there's a line he says that Rebecca and I say constantly to each other. So, like, when one of us is getting stressed out, chill, baby cakes. He literally says that in the movie, and I love it, because it's like, it's lighthearted, but you could take it very seriously. Like, chill. I literally wrote that. I wrote down chill, baby cakes, because I constantly would get, like, zoomed in and micro thinking about the moment, and I'd get stressed out, thinking about what the future holds if I don't fix this, what the past is because I never addressed this problem, like those type of thoughts, which everybody does, I know.
Yeah.
But I'd get so sucked into it, and it would keep me up. So everything so far, like, I'm sitting here, I'm happy, I'm healthy, right? So everything that I've ever encountered has worked out to be good.
Yeah.
Chill, baby cakes. It's going to be okay. And I say that to myself now, because there's times where I'm stressed out and I'm like, man, what is my stress going to, like, it's not going to help this situation. Chill, baby cakes. When Rebecca gets stressed out or I get stressed out at home, and you're like, because there's things that happen throughout your day. You go home and you're just like, man, I can't believe she said this and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you can just easily say, chill, baby cakes. Like, that person did what they did and acted the way they did and said what they did because they were making the best decision they had with the information they were given. How are you any different? They have a certain perception. You have a certain perception. Just chill. Like, just get the full story from them, and then all will be fine. I think it was Brendan. He got a text from Nat about something, and it was just a typo, and he got, like, upset about it. And then Nat was like, sorry, phone autocorrected. chill, baby cakes. Like, it's misunderstanding. It's all good. Everything's fine. So I think early Johnny did not understand that at all, especially when it came to business. I was like, no, man, we're in a specific industry. We're in a specific business type. Ain't nobody doing what we're doing. The problems I'm encountering are very specific to me. And I think as long as you remain with your work ethic, your virtues, and your morals, everything's always going to work out to be good. As long as you're in line with that and you understand who you are, it doesn't matter what happens around you. It really doesn't.
Like you'll thrive.
Yeah, no matter what. So I would go back and tell my younger self to just chill out a little bit and enjoy the ride.
All right, well, guys, definitely follow Johnny Slicks, right?
Yeah, Johnny Slicks, at Johnny Slicks.
Yeah,
very easy. Yeah.
And then March 7th is Slick Day.
Yeah, 7th anniversary. Yeah,
do we know what the code's going to be?
I think it's Slickday 7.
Slickday 7, guys. Yeah, go get your products. Go get a big discount on your stuff. It's our birthday. We're celebrating, and we're just going to pass the birthday gift to you.
Yeah, 7. We're doing 7. We did a lot of 7s this year. However, 7% ain't cutting it. So the discount's going to be much higher than that. So stay tuned for the discount code. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms.
And your Instagram, John Rush Eye.
Oh, John Rush Eye. Yeah, have fun spelling that.
Yep.
You'll find me. Just keep searching. How bad do you want it?
It's in the show notes.
Yeah, true. Dude, Slick Day's gonna be really rad. We're having a massive party too, like inflatables.
Is everybody invited?
Everybody.
So if you're listening to this, you can come to the Slick Day party.
Yep.
How much it cost?
There's a cost?
I don't know. I'm not in charge of planning this party. I don't even know anything about it. Yeah.
No, there's no cost.
There's no cost?
I don't think we've ever done that. Yeah. We'll have food. I'm trying to get a band. We're having inflatables. I'm doing a raffle. We're going to cut the cake with K-bars like we did last year. We get a giant cake made that's the exact replica of Formula 49. So it's a jar with the Formula 49 label, and it's all edible. It's really great. And we cut it with the K-bars, and then we raffle off. You get tons of product.
Tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, guys, come out to Holly Ridge, man. Come party. What day is that party? Do you know?
I'm not in charge of this stuff. I don't know.
I
think it's
follow Johnny
March
Slicks.
15, if that's a Friday. I don't know.
March
Follow
15th?
Johnny Slicks. Yeah. Follow Johnny Slicks.
Okay.
It's on there.
And then Slick Day 7 is going to be the code, man. Get ready for that. And other than that, man, that's it.
Chill, baby cakes.
Chill, baby cakes.
Do you remember that line?
Yeah.
When he's like tied up.
They used like a Greek. He like practiced a Greek English accent when he did the movie too. It was funny.
He did great, dude.
Yeah, it was funny. It was like not the Zeus that I would have portrayed, but whatever. It was funny.
I thought it was goofy. It's goofy. It's goofy.
Yeah,
that's Taika
it's Marvel
Waititi's type of thing.
Anyways, guys, there's a lot of lessons here, man. So enjoy. Go share this with a friend, and damn it, if you don't buy Johnny Slicks, do you even love America? Peace.